Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrasher Horn Center and SJR State Commencement Services. If you would all please rise for the entrance of the graduates and the platform party.
Please remain standing for the national anthem, played by Curtis Powell and sung by Mariangelis Gonzalez, a student at Florida School of the Arts. The national anthem will also be presented in American Sign Language by student Elena Gager. Our sign language interpreters for today's ceremony are Katie Beckhold and Melissa Tinsley Carr.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I greet all of you here today. This is a very special occasion, and I am delighted to see our graduates and so many parents, grandparents, family members, and friends here to help us commemorate this 78th commencement. Today's celebration presents us with a singular and unified opportunity to gather at one time and at one place as a college with students, faculty, administrators, and trustees from all three of the counties that we serve. Every year at this point in the program, it is my privilege and pleasure to share a few interesting facts about this year's graduating class. At the end of these exercises this morning, the members of the SJR State Fall 2025 class will be among the over 33,600 men and women who are graduates of this college. They represent our three SJR State College campuses, Palatka, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. Our graduates have demonstrated dedication and resilience in order to be here today. Despite facing challenges, they have risen above obstacles, refusing to make excuses when the going got tough. Their wise choices have led them to this moment, recognizing that their current achievements are the result of the choices they made in the past. Along the way, they've been helped and encouraged at critical times by family, friends, and college staff. Today, our students will be awarded their bachelor's degrees in fields such as early childhood education, organizational management, and nursing. Additionally, many others will receive associate degrees or certificates. Each of our graduates has a unique success story, and I invite everyone to join me in applauding their achievements. Please join me now in welcoming the president of St. John's River State College, Mr. Joe Pickens, who will now offer words of welcome. President Pickens.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan. Well, it's hard to imagine that just a few short years ago, we didn't have a December graduation at all. And so graduates such as yourselves either had to come back in the spring or not enjoy the honor of walking and receiving the diploma that you have earned. And so it's a great pleasure for us to enjoy this December graduation with you. You're going to hear the words congratulations a lot today, and not just from me. And the reason for that is it's the most appropriate word, I think, in the English language to describe how we feel about what you have accomplished, and frankly, how you should feel about what you have accomplished, and certainly how your family members and friends should feel about what you have accomplished. Congratulations on what you have accomplished. It's also my pleasure to introduce only 3 people today. The first is up in the president's box to my left. Would you please welcome the First Lady of St. John's River State College, Carol Pickens. I will be introducing our keynote speaker, Sheriff Michelle Cook, in just a minute, but Sheriff Cook is with us up here. And then last, but certainly not least, we have one member of the District Board of Trustees with us today, Mr. Wendell Davis. And I want to tell you that Wendell isn't just a trustee. Wendell's decades of service to Clay County and Northeast Florida, from being a county commissioner to serving on dozens and dozens and dozens of boards over the course of his career. But just for the college, in the over 10 years that Mr. Davis has served as a member of the District Board of Trustees, he has served the college as the vice chair of the board, the chairman of the board. He's also served and currently serves as the board's representative to the Foundation Board of Directors, and he is the chairman of the Board of Directors of the Student Housing Corporation that oversees the student housing project in Palatka. Would you please join me in welcoming, as I said before, not just a trustee, but an exemplary trustee, Mr. Wendell Davis.
At each ceremony, we recognize our top graduate who is designated as valedictorian. The valedictorian award is based on GPA, difficulty of courses taken, and involvement in extracurricular activities. The name of this superlative scholar will be inscribed on the SJR State College valedictorian plaque located in the Viking Center on the Palatka campus. After careful deliberation, London Wilson Metcalf has been selected to receive the Fall 2025 Fall Semester Valedictorian Award. London, would you please come forward? Congratulations, London. At this time, President Pickens will present the Paul D. Causey Award.
Congratulations, London. You are now at least one up on your president. I was not the valedictorian of high school or college or law school. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, on June 1st, 2012, my hero died at the age of 64. My hero was Paul D. Causey. D was a student of St. John's River Junior College in the 1960s, and he is a member of the St. Johns River Hall of Honor. Dee was 11 years older than I, and I met him playing rec league basketball as a teenager in Crescent City, Florida in the 1970s. I was 15 and he was 26. And amazingly, during our entire lives together, he was always 11 years older than I. And when I became 25, magically he was 36. And so on and so on. And besides being a great friend and a business partner, he was also a wonderful big brother. For no matter how much older I got and how much mature I had gotten, I hope, he was always going to be a little older and more mature and more experienced. And I learned more from him than you could ever imagine. Dee was a self-made person, and he valued more than anything people who work hard and achieve their goals despite overcoming significant obstacles. Dee loved the underdog. Dee occasionally saw himself as the underdog, and he relished in his achievements. Upon his passing, I created this award to remember my great friend and St. John's River State College Hall of Honor member. But more importantly, we did it in order to recognize a graduate at each ceremony whose personal conduct and overcoming of challenges best exemplifies Dee Causey's grit and determination. And so I'd like to invite Dr. Melanie Brown to come up and introduce and explain to you this year's winner of the Paul D. Causey Award.
Thank you, President Pickens. Sitting on this stage with me and the college's other administration are SJR State's amazing faculty, and we are all here today to celebrate the success of you, our graduating students. The faculty, administration, and I attend each of the college's graduations, and I know that I am not the only one who looks forward to this moment in the program when we pause to hear the details about one student's journey to cross this stage. Mr. Chad Collins, SJR State Professor of Speech and Student Life Skills, nominated the student being honored today, and he will be joining me at the podium to help me recognize this very special student. In his nomination, Professor Collins shared that he met this student in August in his public speaking class, and through her speeches, learned about her chronic illness, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I practiced. Known by the acronym POTS, this disorder of the nervous system causes an abnormal increase in heart rate that can lead to dizziness, fatigue, fainting, and other symptoms as the body struggles to regulate blood flow and pressure. Throughout Professor Collins's public speaking course, this student used her speeches and experiential learning assignments as an opportunity to spread awareness and provide her peers with a better understanding of what a POTS diagnosis entails. Professor Collins shared this about his nominee, quote, "Though she always showed up to class, willing, eager, and engaged to learn, this student's academic career has been punctuated with considerable challenges. For example, she often needed to rest after class before driving home, simply because her heart rate was too high for her to safely drive." End quote. Like so many of you in this graduating class, the student being recognized today overcame obstacles in order to walk across this stage. Like each of your journeys has been different, like so many of you, she is resilient and she persevered. We regularly hear about the ways in which teachers impact their students, but students impact their professors as well. Professor Collins shared that his nominee used her platform in class to, quote, spread awareness on remaining mindful of ADA accessibility and invisible illnesses in our own lives. Professor Collins went on to say that she exemplifies the core of what this award represents, and as she pursues her career as an early learning educator, he has no doubt she will continue to accomplish wonderful things. At this time, I ask that SJR State graduate Marina McCain join us on the stage, and for you to join me in celebrating her accomplishments, and the accomplishments of all of our graduates.
Congratulations, Marina. Please again welcome President Joe Pickens, who will introduce our speaker of the hour.
Prior to my introducing our keynote speaker, your president is going to attempt a modern technological marvel. I'm going to attempt to take a selfie of me and the graduates with some considerable assistance. Surely one of the 22 times I punch that button, it'll come out okay. Sorry for that distraction, Sheriff, but you're used to, rolling with the punches, right? It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Sheriff Michelle Cook from Clay County. And I'd invite you to listen closely to her resume, but what she didn't include in this, in her bio is that she is one of only 2 elected female sheriffs in the state of Florida. And when she was first elected, she was only the 3rd female sheriff ever elected in the state of Florida to serve in that position. The fact that I know how she feels being from Crescent City, this area is home to me. I'm sure the fact that it happened at home made it even more important to her. Michelle entered the law enforcement profession as a patrol officer in 1992 working as a beat cop on the street. With earned promotions throughout her 26-year career at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Michelle retired as a 3-star director and third in command from the JSO, a 3,300-person agency and the nation's 25th largest police department. As Director of Patrol and Enforcement, her responsibilities included the strategic deployment and activities of over 1,000 first responders and community relations personnel, and direct management of a budget of over $100 million. She also oversaw the over 1,000 special events that occurred in the downtown Jacksonville area each year. In 2017, Michelle accepted the position of the Chief of Police for the City of Atlantic Beach, Florida. The Atlantic Beach Police Department is a full-service agency, and under her leadership, the City of Atlantic Beach saw a decrease in crime and the crime rate and improved employee and citizen morale and support. She is credited with successfully leading that department through the Florida Commission of Law Enforcement accreditation process. She is also credited for writing the City of Atlantic Beach All-Hazard Response Hurricane Plan. In early 2020, Michelle retired from the Atlantic Beach Police Department and began her campaign for sheriff in the county in which she was born and raised. Michelle beat out 5 other candidates to win her primary and was declared the winner of the race for Clay County Sheriff. Shortly after her victory, Governor DeSantis stepped in and asked Michelle to start her term early, and on September 1st, 2020, she was sworn in as the Sheriff of Clay County, Florida. In 2024, the citizens of Clay County overwhelmingly re-elected Sheriff Cook with a decisive 80% of the vote. Recognized for her extensive experience and leadership in law enforcement, Michelle has built a reputation for being a firm yet compassionate law enforcement leader whose integrity and genuine management style bring respect not only for her work family but also the community that she serves. Michelle has a master's degree in criminal justice from UNF and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a minor in public administration. She's also a graduate of the FBI Law Enforcement Executives Training and a member of the Florida Sheriff's Association. Michelle is married to Don, and they have 6 children between them, 4 of whom were adopted out of the local foster care system. Graduates, Michelle is the perfect person to speak to you at a graduation. She embodies what an educated person can do for their community. When you leave here today, whether you feel it or not, each and every one of you will be considered by the rest of the world to be an educated person. With that comes a responsibility to give back in some way, in the same way that you heard that Wendell Davis does and did, and in the same way that certainly Sheriff Cook did and does. Please join me in welcoming one of Clay County's own, Sheriff Michelle Cook.
All right, since the president did it, I'm going to do it too. He did it first, so it's good. Good morning, and thank you for the honor and privilege of being here to share a few moments with you as we celebrate the Vikings that are graduating here this morning. Graduates, it is pretty standard for a graduation speaker to stand before you and tell you all of the things that you can accomplish as you step from this phase of your life into your next. But today I feel compelled to tell you of some of the things that you cannot do. I promise this is not my intention to bring a negative cloud to this happy moment, but I would be remiss if I didn't speak the truth with you today. First of all, As a new graduate, you cannot expect things to remain the same. Change is a big part of life, and honestly, it is often a difficult part of life. For the past few years, I know it took me 6 years to graduate, so I don't know how many years you've been in school, but for the past few years, you participated in a necessary routine as you completed your college studies. At a certain time each day, you made your way to your campus and found your parking spot and eased yourself into your day's studies. If you overslept or were running late and still tried to get to class on time, maybe you visited with one of my deputies as they explained to you that 50 is not the new 30 when it comes to miles per hour. You navigated through each day and counted down the seconds until that final class during that final semester. And if you were in sports, extracurricular activities, or had a job or family, you trained, you participated, you worked, you did all of this. You did so much until it was time to go home. And if you had homework, you did your homework before bed, or if you were like me, you did it in the parking lot before class. Whatever your routine, you had a pattern that you followed each day, but all that changes when you walk out of this place after this ceremony. I've known people who adapt very easily to change, and I've met some who have no tolerance for change. In fact, I've seen prisoners who become so institutionalized that they change the change that they experience after being released from incarceration is just too uncomfortable for them. Some have even committed another crime so that they can go back to jail. Being locked away in a cell was easier for them than having to adapt to a new normal. Graduates, life won't be the same for you the moment you walk out of this door, and you cannot be afraid to experience the new that you attempt. You cannot be so afraid to experience the new that you attempt to re-experience the old, as I'm sure you've tried, but I'm confident that President Pickens will not allow you to be re-incarcerated in math class next year. There is no return clause in your diploma, but there is an amazing world out there just waiting to be conquered. And part of the act of conquering will require you to adapt to new surroundings and new situations. Don't let that worry you, though. You've got what it takes. Just be bold enough to put that into action. Graduates, there's another thing that you absolutely cannot do. You cannot sit back and expect someone else to do what you have been called to do. In case you haven't been watching, we are living in a world where an awful lot of people, both young and old, have adopted the mindset that life owes them something. This entitlement mindset is crippling our country and causing us to miss out on some incredible innovation. Would it be nice if everything was handed to us without an investment of hard work on our part? Sure, of course it would for a while. But I promise you, some of the greatest accomplishments that I've experienced have come on the heels of failure and extremely frustrating and difficult work. It is because of that investment of blood, sweat, and tears that I have a greater appreciation for the milestones in my life. Had those good things had just been handed to me without effort, I do not believe that I would be standing here today as your sheriff, the sheriff of this great county, and lead hundreds of men and women. Great accomplishments require great effort. Now, do some people have it easier than others? Of course, but ultimately this is your life to live. Your future, your potential, it's limitless. You are not capped down or tamped down. You will exit this venue shortly, and the world is wide open for you. But you cannot expect it to be handed to you. Be benevolent as you help and encourage others, but determine that today, in this very moment, that you will not sit back and wait to be led by others, but that you will walk out this door and you will lead. And speaking about potential and leadership, there's another thing that you simply cannot do, graduates. You cannot settle for mediocrity. If you pay attention to the news at all, you know that our nation is struggling right now. In your history classes, if your history classes served you well, then you know that we have known great moments in the history of our country when young men and women have risen to seemingly insurmountable challenges, fighting against overwhelming odds and accomplishing things that are far beyond their known capabilities to ultimately win the day. If you studied the War of 1812, you will find that simple, sometimes untrained and uneducated young Americans who had no chance of winning were able to repel and defeat a foreign fighting force that was so highly trained and equipped. That accomplishment happened because there was a fire burning in the hearts of the men and women who refused to settle for mediocrity. Were they afraid? Of course. But they coupled that fear with determination to ultimately overcome and build a better future for you and me. Look at the boldness of those who served and fought in World War II. Often lying about their age, these young heroes abandoned a life of comfort, enlisted in the military, and freed this world of tyranny so that their children, your parents, our grandparents, could live in a free country. But this hunger to avoid mediocrity and embrace the exceptional isn't just a part of our history. It's a spirit that still burns in the hearts of so many today. You know, a friend of mine shared a story about his experience during a day cruise on a United States amphibious assault ship that was based in Mayport. And it was the first time my friend had been on an active Navy ship, and this is a special place for me because my daughter just enlisted in the Navy. So my friend's on this ship, and he talks about how the ship did a quick 50-mile out and back trip, and he was given a guided tour, and he saw this, newly built ship and all the incredible hardware and technology. But what was interesting is when my friend came back, he said the most impressive thing that he saw was the officer in charge of the ship barking out orders about heading and speed to a young lady who was at the helm, and she repeated the orders back to him and adjusted the ship's controls accordingly. And as they stepped outside, the officer giving the tour to my friend said, "I'm not sure if you realize it, but that young lady is barely past her teens and is driving a $1 billion ship." That's impressive. So graduates, I don't know what the future holds for each of you, but I know that if you can adapt to change, take the initiative, and aim for the exceptional, you can change this country for the better and give future generations the opportunity to live under the same freedoms that you and I enjoy. And whether you dig ditches or design buildings or teach kids, be the best. Whether you write laws, I am hiring, be a leader. And whether you raise a family or teach children from other families, set an example of integrity and compassion, we are counting on you, Vikings. We love you. We're so proud of you. Now please go change the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Cook, for those encouraging remarks. At this time, Dr. Melanie Brown, the college's Chief Operating Officer and Senior Vice President, will present the students from their respective programs to President Joe Pickens.
President Pickens, on behalf of the faculty of St. John's River State College, it is my pleasure to present to you the college's candidates for the Bachelor's of Science, Bachelor's of Applied Science, Associate in Arts, and Associate in Science degrees and certificates. These students have met all requirements and are therefore entitled to receive their degrees and certificates.
Will all of the graduates please rise? Graduates, by the power vested in me by the Florida Legislature, I, Joe Pickens, the President of St. John's River State College, do hereby bestow upon you the degree and/or certificate which you have obtained, with all of the honors, rights, and privileges appertaining thereunto. After your name is called, please come forward to receive your diploma from me.
the information of the audience, graduates wearing yellow stoles and tassels are members of Phi Theta Kappa National Honorary Society. I will be joined today by Mr. Jack Hall, Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs, who will assist me in announcing or attempting to announce the names of the students. Victoria Danielle Schmidtling. Laura Ashlyn Zilkowski. Anna Raylyn Kersey, magna cum laude. Samantha Alexandra Billings. Zane Williams. John Thomas Chastain. Tabitha Renee Rue. Justin Howard Crawford. Stacy Elizabeth Prince. Diane S. Kahn. Michelle Elise Gibson, cum laude. Cynthia Elaine Jones. Haley Renee Nichols. Kayla Mae Balanoba, cum laude. Jamie Lee Austin. Ashton Brooke Holland, cum laude. Elizabeth Nicole Cabellas, magna cum laude. Enzo Antonio Baranchea. Dylan Hunter Wagner. Joshua Christopher Florence. Kyle Matthew Grimes. Zynatius Malaysia Shadea Ware. Colin Alexander Hugenberger. Amy Elizabeth Keys Smith. Candace Marie Peacock, cum laude. Tamara Marie Grundy, magna cum laude. Paul R. Soto, 2023 Student of the Year. Tammy Lee Fasley, summa cum laude. Ryan Lee Peppers. Andrea Marie Stewart, magna cum laude. Ashlyn Bryce Marie Bemis. Morgan Danielle Simmons, cum laude. Samantha Delexis Smith. Juliet Oliveros. Soledad Magdalena Ignacia Rodriguez, Phi Theta Kappa. Andrea Stefania Kathleen Lloyd, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Robin Christina Langlois. Caitlin Rose Smith. Margaret Ann Marie Gall, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Elizabeth Teresa Arzola. Erica Susanna Dunwan. Gage Thomas Whitmar. London W. Metcalf, summa cum laude. Esteban Raul Murillo. Fino Philippe. Brandy Lynn Fallon. Travis Scott Green. Michaela Emily Campbell. John Kelly McCrae. Heather M. Maurer. Raylan Rodriguez. Elijah Clark Schwab, magna cum laude. Angel Munoz Baker. Blaine Justin Larkin. Colton Victor Kimball. Marina Nicole McCain. Alexandra Marie Reedy, summa cum laude.
No photo. No photo.
Anna Gail Reedy, summa cum laude. Janisa Yolanda Solomon. Chanel Vashti Rosalie Randolph, cum laude.
Jocelyn Paulette Osorio Negron. Zoe Nicole Foster, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Natalie Marie Collins. JC Ann Birch, cum laude. Cohen Bryce Holloway. April Rose Doherty. Ian K. Walcott. Thomas Archer Lipscomb, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Willa Lauren Hardy. Diana Benson. Braden Robert Walker. Layla Angelique Casanova. Cayenne Vontrell Session, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Anya Viteri Burao, cum laude. Lydia Jasmine Oliver Welch, cum laude. Aiden Jack White. Cameron Riley Childers. Caleb Christopher Childers. Gracie Leona McCann, cum laude. Richard James Bernard McCrae. Kira Jasmine Theed. Kylie Ann Rose Lockman. Christopher Aaron Ray. Bethany Starr Walski. Megan Elizabeth Coggle. Cassandra Lee Cadwallader. Alyssa Brianne Sharmua, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Tia Marie Davis. Lillet. Mary Grace Avendano. Hope Christine Lohman. Jenna Victoria Carlo. Angelina Mary Lagana, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Madeline Alyssa D. Ford. Lindsay June Charleston. Samuel Santana. Cora Jane Chekhov. Madison Page Smith. Juliana Marie Wick, cum laude. Devonna Chandler Beaufort, magna cum laude. Mary Corinne Jean Montgomery, cum laude. Hyla Barbara Reyes. Callista Nicole Freilich, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Brendan Alexander Padilla, summa cum laude. Noah Michael Murto, summa cum laude. Doreen K. Meyer, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Victoria Alexis Bustamante. Daisy Cheyenne Woolenweber. Rebecca G. Vobordny, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Drew Michael Howington, cum laude. Eileen Sherelle Harris. John Dell Johnston. Abigail Elizabeth Oley. Amber Dawn Santana. Hannah Lee Toops. Grace Lauren Twiss, magna cum laude. Alexis Haley Jacqueline Horton. Romina Alexis Carvajal, Phi Theta Kappa. Lauren Meelan Sadler, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Judy Ann Ogden Booth. Sana Muhend Hamad, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Addison D. Robb, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Reagan Elaine Chayer, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Chance Randall Robb, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Leanna Marie Jones. Daniel Edward Ramirez. Olivia Leanne Satterfield. Kayla Samantha Nordic. Kylie Logan Stanley. Samira Valeria Andrade. Shakania St. Cyr. Kylie Gutierrez, summa cum laude. Lisa Catherine Gerard, summa cum laude. Grace Renee Nepper. Patrick Warren Fields. Sariboth Raymond Wu. Eli Alexander Sanchez, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Caitlin L. Hart, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Brenna Joanne Louise Mulligan, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Kristen Faith Appleby. Lauren Tyra Fema Gonzalez. Lee Ann Walton. Nathan James Cogdill. Zachary Scott Belfile. Ariel Faith Henderson. Caitlin Elizabeth Arnold. Gabriel Alexander Bailey. Austin K. Shepard, cum laude. Julian Gabriel Jarvis. Zoe, Raven, Kira, John.
Graduates, it occurs to me, I don't know why after 17 years of doing this, that it's very interesting that I stand in between the students, the graduates, and the faculty that helped you along the way, certainly way more than the president did. And so what I'd like to do as we close is ask the faculty to please rise. And I'm going to ask the faculty to remain standing and now ask, will all of the graduates please rise? And as the rest of us clap and congratulate you on your accomplishments, I'm going to step aside so you can see the faculty and the faculty can see you, and you can give them one last thank you for all they did to help you through your journey. Thank you, faculty. Graduates, remain standing. This will be the second to the last time today that I say to you, congratulations. But graduates, this is the moment that you have earned, each and every one of you. You may now change your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations.
You may be seated. On behalf of the graduating class, I want to thank all of our SJR State family who are responsible for today's ceremony. Graduates, I congratulate you once more on your accomplishments and wish each of you the very best as you continue your journey with life and learning. Will everyone please stand and remain in place for the recessional of our fall 2025 graduates.